wow. What a beautiful morning today. You can definitely see a lot of stuff out of this window. Last night was kind of cold, but not as cold as tonight's gonna be. The goal tonight is to head 2 hours more north than where we are right now. Right now, here is the current conditions. Blowing snow everywhere. We're also gonna be hiking to cliffs along the water side and trying to cook food on a fire during the snowing storm. Wow. Whoa! I don't know how this is gonna go. I've never slept in this car during freezing cold temperatures. Last night was the coldest I've ever been. It was only 0 degrees though. Tonight it's gonna get down to -5, I believe. So we're gonna see how that goes. But first we need to get breakfast and supplies. Wow. It is a snowy one today. Right down here, we have my breakfast for the day. Dinosaur oatmeal. Majority of my meals are oatmeal because it's really easy to make, and in the morning I never really want to start up any sort of cooking, especially when I'm in like a parking lot like today. So it's easier just to grab these packets of oatmeal and put water in them and eat them. I parked really close to the cart thing at Walmart so that no one could open my doors. That's why I had to squeeze in here. But inside this little thing here, I have pots, skillet, forks, and knife. So all I need for this meal is a spoon, a bottle of water. Besides the fact that it's cold oatmeal, and it's super watery in some parts and just completely dry oats in other parts, the sugar in the kids' dinosaur oatmeal makes it taste really good. So I'm gonna finish eating these 3 packs of oatmeal, and then we have to go do a bunch of shopping in Walmart because I'm not prepared to sleep in the freezing cold overnight tomorrow. A Walmart shopping list is wood, potato, and water. That's what we're gonna live off of. Well, we run into a problem. Before going on this trip, I went to my local Walmart to check and make sure that they have wood you can buy. And since they did, I assumed that all Walmarts have wood, but not this one. So if I can't find a way to get wood, I'm not gonna be able to make my food tonight, and I'm not gonna have dinner. So we have good news and we have bad news. The good news is we found our potato and our water. But the bad news is we didn't find firewood, which was arguably the most important part of this process. Because without firewood, I don't have warmth and I can't cook my food. So we need to find firewood, and we need to find it fast because it's already midday and I still need to go on a hike, and I need to cook, and I need to figure out how to start a fire. Because to be honest, I'm not the best at it, and I'm definitely not the best at it when it's snowing outside. I just noticed that this Walmart is located beside a Canadian Tire. And if you're not from Canada, you won't know what that is. But if you're from Canada, you know that this is probably where I will actually find firewood. So I'm gonna go inside and I'm gonna hope that they have wood, because if they don't, I'm screwed. So I asked them and they said it should be here. Oh, well. We meet again. Firewood. Okay, really good news. They had firewood. Bad news is there's a hole in the bag, so I just got kindling all over my car. But that's no problem, because we can at least have warmth tonight if I can get the fire started, and food tonight if I can get the fire started. Now, I'm not using a GPS to get there because I think I know the way, even though the other 2 times I've gone here, I've completely messed up the directions and gone about 40 minutes in the wrong way. So we're gonna hope that doesn't happen today. The car's just pulling itself every which way. Beep, beep. It's a little hard to tell on camera, but all of that is shallow water, like little swamps. You can see the waves a little bit, but as you go deeper out, it actually becomes a full-on lake, and it's very, very big. It goes all the way back there. But truthfully, this lake is nothing compared to the one that I'm going to show you on the hike. I don't know how long the hike is. Last I remember it was about 3 kilometers. That's 2.5 miles or something like that. I don't really know the conversion. But last time I did it, that's how long it was. I think I can park closer than when I did it before, so hopefully I can only do 1 kilometer in, 1 kilometer out. That'd be a lot better for temperature wise, but when we get there, we're gonna get all cleaned up, bundled up. Okay, we've encountered an issue. Obviously the goal was to camp in the van because we have an entire van life built. But all of the paths by road to my campsite are closed. There's an open parking lot that anyone can park at, and then you can trek to your site for winter camping. So I'm left with two options. I have a tent in the car. I can trek my tent there, set up camp at my campsite, and be good. Or I can bring all my food supplies there, cook my meal there, and then go back at night and sleep in the parking lot in the vehicle. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet, but to give myself time to think, I've come to the hike location. So I'm gonna do the big hike here. We're bundled up, we're ready to hike. We've got about a 1.5 kilometer hike in, and then another 1.5 kilometers back. Now, I was warned that there's a lot of wildlife around here. Looks like I only see human footprints, and maybe some deer prints. Now, I've not done a lot of winter hiking. I mean, I've literally maybe done it once or twice. But this is beautiful. I mean, look around me. This is unreal. But I mean, look at this. I'm a little on edge. The lady at the front said that the bears are waking up. And although it is only black bears here, you still don't want to encounter a bear. But I've been here multiple times and I've never come across one or heard about them from anybody besides the news, so I think they'll be okay. So I just realized I think I owe you guys an apology. I've been saying that we're going on a hike, but I haven't actually described what the hike is. See, at the end of this hike, or I guess the midpoint, the exciting point, we're actually going to be on the coast of Georgian Bay. Now, if you don't know what that is, that's a runoff of one of the Great Lakes in Canada. So what we'll be seeing is giant cliffs. We'll be on top of them and we'll be able to look out at the water. Obviously, I will not be going close to the edge of these cliffs because they're about 20 meters tall. But I will try and get some cool videos and some cool shots from the safer places. I didn't bring any snacks. I meant to bring a protein bar. That was on the shopping list this morning at Walmart, but I didn't get it. So we're gonna be having lots of nothing on this hike, but it's okay, because it's not a long one. Now, one thing to know about tonight is I've never cooked food on a fire properly. I've made steaks once on a fire. They ended up having peanut butter and hash browns and jelly on them. That's a long story. So tonight's really going to be an interesting one. That's a later issue. For now, we're at the cool part of the hike. Danger. Thin ice. Well, from the sounds of the waves, I'm going to say that there's no ice. And also the fact that it's March. Wow. This is the choppiest I've ever seen it, but somehow it's still turquoise. The water's still turquoise. You can see all right there, it's still turquoise. And that cliff right there is much bigger than this camera lets you believe. This path still goes straight. I'm gonna walk down it, but I'm gonna be very cautious of my step because the last thing I wanna do is fall 25 feet with no one here. Since we are on the side of a cliff, there's not many good viewpoints. So I hope that these shots that I can get look good, because as cool as it would be to be up top there or up top there, it would not be cool to fall from there to there. of my favorite parts about this is if you look back behind, right about there, there's another cliff, just like this one here. But it has a very solid rectangular block sticking out of the top. It's a beautiful view. I'm gonna head back on the same trail that I took here, and we're gonna figure out the sleeping situation for the night. Hike complete. So here's the problem now. I thought that I was gonna be able to access my campground through this gate right here. But as you can see, they haven't opened the gate and they don't plan on opening it. So instead what I'm supposed to do is park my car here and take a trail down there and walk it all the way to my campsite with all my belongings to make dinner and to possibly sleep. I wasn't joking. When I said I came underprepared, I really did. All I brought to eat was these strawberries, these 2 steaks, and this bag with 2 carrots and a little bit of butter for cooking. And also the potato that I bought at Walmart this morning. So if I want to eat, I'm gonna have to hike all my wood and all my food out to the campsite, hope I can make a fire, and then hope I can cook food. My plan is to try and get this all done in one trip. I'm gonna pack everything I need for food inside of my cooler bag, and then hope I can carry the wood with my other arm. This is the hiking setup. I really hope this is a quick walk. We made it to the campsite. Again, it's a shame we couldn't have parked the car here. I understand why, it's gravel roads. Looks like the last people here left a bunch of wood. A bunch of wood. But it is soaked, so luckily I have this bag of wood. Let's get this fire started ASAP. First I have to clear out all of this snow from this fire pit to make it dry and have enough space for my fire. Oddly enough, some of this wood actually seems very dry on the inside, so I think I'm going to test what it's like to burn it, just because then maybe I can save mine. I'm using this brick almost as a shovel to push the snow and all the wet ash to the side of this pit so that we can reach the drier dirt areas and some of the old coals that are still dry. This should be good for now, but in the meantime, I'm going to clean off those old pieces of wood and see how dry they really are, and I'll even probably try and chop some of them up and use them as kindling. I'm surprised by how dry all this wood is. It was literally covered in snow, but this snowfall did just come on within the last night, and it's very good packing snow. So this means it sits hard on top of all the wood and doesn't actually melt into it. So I'm gonna guess that this wood will actually be good to burn. I plan on making these pieces of wood very thin. Almost the size of drumsticks. That way I can make a teepee with them. And have them light quicker, so then ignite the big logs. The wood sounds really dry, so I'm hoping that that one piece is enough kindling to start a good fire. From my firewood, I have a bunch of dry birch bark, so I'm going to be able to use this as my kindling, as long as it doesn't snow too much. And then I'm really hoping, I tried to test it, I do think that that wood might be a little bit too wet, but I'm hoping with this kindling, and then if I throw in maybe a piece or two of my own wood, that I can start this little teepee and ignite all of the twigs and stuff that I've cut up underneath. In all honesty, using this wood, which was clearly covered in snow, was probably not a good idea, but I like the challenge of trying to get it started. The fire's starting to get going, but if you listen closely to it, you'll hear an almost whistling sound. That's the wet wood. So I was completely wrong for putting the wet wood in there, but we're getting closer. And if the rest of this teepee can light, maybe 2 or 3 more rods, then it'll be time to put one of my dry pieces of log on. Okay, so I've placed my pan skillet thing on top of the fire so that it'll be able to burn, and then obviously it'll heat up a bunch. You can kind of see it steaming off the top, some of the old steak that I had last time I cooked with this thing. But since I was lucky enough to have this campsite come with this stove thing right here, I'll be able to keep feeding wood logs underneath of the pan while it fries the steaks. So my current kitchen setup is this butter in a bag and these steaks in a bag, which I've been letting sit in the snow, and these carrots in a bag. And even though I just ran back to the car, I forgot to grab the potato. So we're gonna eat the steaks first because I don't want to waste this fire, and then if there's still fire going and room for potatoes, then we're gonna cook them, and that'll be dessert. First, we're gonna do what any good chef would do. We're gonna grab some butter, and we're gonna place it on top of the fire. This skillet is looking hot, so hopefully this sizzles. Wow. Whoa! Okay. Well, it's clearly hot, but the butter drifted all over to the one end, and it caught fire a little bit. I've never seen butter catch fire, so hopefully that's enough butter. We're gonna put the steaks on. I think these steaks might be a little thick. Some squirrel got it out for me. I think these steaks might be a little thick, so I'm gonna try and cut them down the center like this so that they're thinner pieces. Oh wow. This is a good steak. I actually won it from a restaurant on a Monday night. They were giving away free packs of meat. I won like a bunch of sausages, 6 steaks, some meatballs, and like 3 pounds of bacon. The only shame was I cooked all the bacon at the same time and then put it in the fridge. That bacon went bad in like a day, and I barely even ate half of it. But speaking of half, this cut perfectly, so let's see if it'll cook perfectly as well. I forgot to season them. Okay, forgot to season them. So we're gonna season this one. We're gonna try and cut this one really quick without cutting my hand open, or without getting a bunch of smoke in my eyes. And then we'll just throw seasoning on the tops of those ones that are already there cooking. First 2 steaks are just gonna be half seasoned, but that's okay because I'm watching my diet and I don't need any more salt in it. For these 2 steaks, I think I've seen Gordon Ramsay do this. I should just be able to throw some of that in there. And then just pull one of these maybe. I don't know, we're gonna find out. But it sounds like those other steaks on the fire right there are cooking really fast. So I might wanna hurry up. But one side got it. Good enough. Okay. I just got a lot of smoke in my eye, but if you can see down there, I don't know if you actually can, these logs are running low, so I need to add another. That piece of log either fixed this fire or ruined the whole thing. We'll find out in about 3 minutes. Just to be safe, we're gonna add all the bark that we have left. Well, the first two look pretty good. I'm guessing these two will turn out good as well. My spatula is also RGB because I'm a gamer. So if any of you guys want to crank 90s in any game, let me know. I'm actually dog at games, not gonna lie, but I can cook a mean steak on a fire. Maybe. Steaks 1 and 2 done. They actually look delicious. They smell really good. I'm honestly surprised. I'm not much of a cook. But man, catch me on the grill, either a real flame or a George form, I'm chefing it up. Our final steak, our fourth and final, is ready to come off the grill. Look at that bad boy. Oh, but I almost forgot. Obviously, we gotta give a taste test. If I can find my knife. Oh. Where should we put the knife? I don't know, let's just leave it on the ground over there. I'm not a steak connoisseur, so let me know in the comments if that looks good. And I'll let you know right now if it tastes good. That steak is delicious. It's a little cold because it's been sitting out for like 10 minutes. So let me try one of the hot ones that actually had seasoning, because that was the first one that only had seasoning on half of it. So this is my wonderful steak. This one on top here is one of the fresh ones. As you can see, a lot of juice up in here. Sorry for that noise. A lot of juice up in here. Let's cut this bad boy. So these are the second batch. Let's check how these were cooked, if they were cooked well at all. Gotta get my head out of here. These ones seem a lot more rare. So they seem cooked through. There's a little bit of red left in the other one, which is really good. I do like my meat a little bit more like jerky-esque. So I think I'm gonna enjoy this a lot. Hopefully it's not. Oh, it's not hot. Oh wow. That one's really good. In a lot of the comments on my videos, people often say like that they wish they could do this type of thing. If you want to travel, it's just a matter of if you're willing to do it. Because obviously it can be really scary to travel and hop on that flight or make that drive or do whatever, but it's just getting in the car and leaving that's hard. Not the driving, not the being here. It's just the booking the flight and stepping into the airport that's hard. It's not flying there, it's not being in that location. It's just the scariness of the beginning. So if you can find it within yourself to have enough courage just to take the first step, the next 20 steps and beyond after that are going to be a lot easier than you probably think. So cheers to everybody going out and exploring. I've made my decision about where I'm sleeping tonight. I've decided that I'm going to sleep in the car. The point of this video was to do a car camping video in freezing temperatures, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sleep in the car. I've cleaned up everything, just have to put it in the fire. Important lesson, always leave your campsite the way you found it, minus some garbage. So if there's trash, take it, and don't leave any trash. Leave it nice and clean. The nice thing about winter camping is putting out fires is pretty easy. We're back at the car. This parking lot, which is completely empty, is where I'm going to be sleeping tonight. I decided not to do potatoes because the sun's starting to set and I kind of want to just hang out in here. So thank you for watching. I'll be posting every Thursday. I have no idea what next week's video is going to be. Maybe I'll utilize that potato. Hopefully. Oh, and also, if you have any video ideas for me to make, comment them, and I'll probably do them.